Hello, welcome all of you to my YouTube channel Connect to Physics. Now in today's class we are going to discuss one more important question. Maybe this question will appear for your PUC examinations. So now today we are going to discuss about the characteristics of nuclear forces. ठीक है, तो before to moving on to the characteristics, first we will discuss some basic concept. First we are going to define the word force. So force is nothing but a push or pull on an object is called as force. Okay, force is nothing but a push or pull on an object is called as force. The unit of force we know that is Newton. Okay, so the important thing is here that if you want to notice the force means there should be an interaction of two objects. Okay, when two objects interact with each other, then only you're going to notice force. For example, see here I have an object. Okay, now I want to move this object from point 1 to point 2 position. That means here I am going to apply the amount of force that is in the form of pushing. Think that this is an object. When I am going to push this one, now you are observing here the interaction between the two objects. This is one and what here I am applying the force here. So when I am going to push this one, it will come to this position, point 2. So that's why if you want to notice the force means there should be interaction between the two objects. Clear? So this is the basic things. Now moving on to the today's topic, that is characteristics of nuclear force. Now how we are going to define the word nuclear force means, nuclear force, to understand the concept of nuclear force, first we have to understand what you mean by nucleons. Okay, nucleons. Nucleons nothing but, see here I have an atom. Okay, I am going to call it as an atom. It's a smallest portion or smallest particle you can say. So inside the atom we know nucleus is present. This is the nucleus. Okay, so inside the nucleus there will be a number of neutron and proton. ठीक है, एक एटम है, इस एटम के अंदर जो है न्यूक्लियस प्रेजेंट है. ये न्यूक्लियस में जो है नंबर ऑफ न्यूट्रॉन और नंबर ऑफ प्रोटॉन्स प्रेजेंट है. सो उसी को ही हम बोलते हैं न्यूक्लियॉन्स बोल के. ओके, प्रोटॉन एंड न्यूट्रॉन inside the nucleus. Okay, inside the nucleus in an atom is called as nucleons. ठीक है, nucleons आपको अंडरस्टैंड हो गया. nucleons is nothing but proton and neutron inside the nucleus of an atom is called nucleons. Now how we are going to define the word nuclear force means, nuclear force is nothing but the force which act between the nucleons. ठीक है, जो एक ऐसा फोर्स which act in between the nucleons. Nucleons are nothing but proton और न्यूट्रॉन. So इन प्रोटॉन और न्यूट्रॉन के जो बीच में फोर्स एक्ट करता, इसी को ही हम बोलते हैं न्यूक्लियर फोर्स बोल के. ठीक है, तो मैं अब एक परफेक्ट डेफिनेशन यहाँ पे लिख देता हूँ. न्यूक्लियर फोर्स मीन्स the force which act between neutron and neutron, proton and neutron and proton and proton. ठीक है, जो फोर्स एक्ट करता है एक न्यूट्रॉन और न्यूट्रॉन के बीच में, या तो आप ले लीजिए प्रोटॉन और न्यूट्रॉन, या तो आप ले लीजिए प्रोटॉन और प्रोटॉन. इन तीनों के जो रिलेशन में जो फोर्स एक्ट कर रहा है, ठीक है, और इन तीनों को जो है एक तरह का बॉन्ड वहां पे फॉर्म हो जा रहा, एंड which bonds each other inside the nucleus. Inside the nucleus is called as nuclear force. ठीक है, nuclear force is nothing but the force which act between न्यूट्रॉन इन न्यूट्रॉन, प्रोटॉन न्यूट्रॉन भी हो सकता है या प्रोटॉन और प्रोटॉन भी हो सकता है, एंड विच बाउंड्स ईच अदर in the nucleus, that is called as nuclear force. Okay, now moving on to the characteristics. The first important characteristics of the nuclear force is they have strongest attractive force in nature. Okay, so we know that in PUC first year, first chapter, we have heard about the four fundamental forces. In that we have heard about gravitational force, electromagnetic force, strong nuclear force, and a weak nuclear force. So we know that why we are going to call these nuclear forces are very strong means these nuclear forces are 10 to the power of 38 times stronger than gravitational force. That's why we are going to call it as a nuclear force or strongest force in the nature. And the second important point is they are short range forces. Okay, the range of this nuclear force is very less or very short. Why? Because means they will act, this force which act inside the nucleus only, that is around 10 to the power of 15 meter. This is the range of this nuclear force. That's why we are going to call it as a short range force. And the third important property, they do not obey inverse square law. Okay, they do not obey inverse square law. So what do you mean by inverse square law means, see here I have an amount of energy 10 watt. Okay, now this, when the energy is traveling up to the distance, okay, so this is 1 meter, this is the 2 meter distance we have. Up to the 1 meter, whatever the energy we have, when this energy reaches to the 1 meter means here the energy is going to decrease, that we will get 5 watt. Clear? When it reaches to the 2 meter, so we think that half of that 5, around 2.5 watt we will get here, but it's not like that. It is completely sudden decrease in the energy. Around we will get 1 watt of energy. That means the amount of distance traveled, that energy, so there will be a sudden drop in that. Clear? So that's why we can say that intensity is inversely proportional to the square of the distance. That is called as inverse square law. That is the third characteristics of nuclear force. And the fourth important characteristics, they are charge independent. Okay, they are charge independent and spin dependent forces. Spin dependent forces. Okay, so these are the four important characteristics of nuclear forces. So in your examination they will ask you that write the important characteristics of the nuclear force for 2 marks. So if you mention these four characteristics means you will get the marks. Okay, so I hope that you have understand the concept. If you like my video, share and subscribe the channel. Thank you for watching.